So I just got done recording this entire video and breaking this article down, and man, oh man, is this article a lot worse, a lot more dangerous than I thought. You're going to want to watch this video all the way through, because this article, if someone new into the world of precious metals found this, they 100% would never even think about investing into it, which is so dangerous because this guy twists words, gives misleading context on purpose to fit the narrative of his idea because it is not having to do with precious metals. These are those guys I've talked about before, just like bankers that push real estate, mortgage, their own little smart vestor stuff, and know about the benefits of gold and silver, but will purposely portray it as a bad idea just to fit their own narrative. That is dangerous, and stick through this entire video as I debunk this article and just expose how blatantly wrong and a lie it is. Enjoy.
Connection established.
Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer, so now let's talk silver. What if we got silver wrong? What if we made a mistake? What if it fails? What if it never does explode? I'm sure these are questions some people ask themselves. Did I make a mistake? Should I have invested into Bitcoin instead? What is all this hype about? This is a conversation that I passionately like to talk about. Because if you're someone who does ask yourself those types of questions, or maybe he's on the fence, or maybe second guessing, then one, you don't understand the value of silver. And two, which is even more importantly, you don't understand the value of a dollar. We're not investing into silver to get rich. Silver is what makes us rich. Silver is real wealth. Silver is real money. Your dollars floating around are worthless. Once you understand that, then regardless of what silver's price does, it doesn't matter. And I'm about to explain the perfect example of how silver is timeless and how the dollar is worthless. Before we jump into that, though, I did want to mention I'm doing a massive silver giveaway. As we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, I will be giving away several ounces of silver. This first giveaway is going to be a sealed tube of Eagles. Sealed tube of Eagles. That is what the winner of this giveaway will be receiving. And not just that, I'll be doing several giveaways over the next 5-6 months. This is going to be something that it doesn't happen on YouTube. You don't see people give away an entire ounce of gold. But that's what I'm going to be doing. So make sure you click the link in the description, click subscribe, go enter, and may the luckiest stackers win. Now back to this very important example of how silver is timeless. How when you buy silver, you're putting your money in a time capsule. A walking Liberty $50 could buy you a gallon of gas back in the day. And that's because a gallon of gas was 50 cents. A walking Liberty $50, of course, is 50 cents. So back in the day, you would hand that walking Liberty to the store clerk, to the gas station, the gas station owner, and you would get yourself a gallon of gas for 50 cents. Well, that same exact coin can get you a gallon of gas today. Let's say you, instead of entering that gas station back in the day, you all of a sudden hit some type of time travel, let's talk about Back to the Future type stuff, and you land in today's day. You're at the gas station still, but all you have is that coin in your pocket. You could still get yourself a gallon of gas today, a couple gallons. 50 cents can't get you a gallon of gas today, but you could take that walking Liberty, walk down to your local coin shop, sell it for $10, $15, and get yourself a couple gallons of gas. You see, because 50 cents back then had 50 cents worth of silver inside of it. Nowadays, 2 quarters doesn't have silver in it. You see how if you would have kept that walking Liberty $50, which was 50 cents, over time it holds its value, but 2 quarters would never hold its value in today's time. Silver is timeless. It's timeless. That's the best way I can break it down. So anyways, let's look at this article titled "Why Investing in Precious Metals is a Bad Idea." Now, hopefully, since I explained why investing in the precious metals could never be a bad idea, it doesn't even matter the context of this article. And that's what I tried to do. Now, trust me, I found a lot of other articles that tried to say precious metals is a bad idea, and I would never even want to give those articles the light of day, ever. The blatant lies, the misleading context, it was terrible. And if someone would find an article like that before watching a video like mine, they would probably never even waste their time trying to learn or investing. And that's so dangerous because precious metals is by far the safest, smartest investment, silver or gold. So anyways, let's jump into this article. When the world seems like it's going crazy and the news cycle is filled with a constant stream of bad news, you might be tempted to make some dumb financial decisions like go all in for a better bartering system based on commodities like gold or silver. But before you invest all your money into precious metals, let's get the facts straight. Now, nobody should put all their money in gold and silver anyways. I think the way he's trying to word this is, I think this guy honestly does invest into gold and silver or would or doesn't think it's a bad idea. But the extreme, he's coming from such an extreme angle that of course doing that isn't a good idea. So he's kind of he's twisting the words a little bit to make his point relevant, even though he knows his point isn't relevant. Investing in the precious metals. Throughout history, gold, silver, and other precious metals have been highly sought after and considered the most valuable commodities someone could own. But are they good investments? Let's dive into the big three: gold, silver, and platinum. Gold. When you think about the world's obsession with gold, it's easy to get caught up in the adventure and mystery, like panning for gold during the gold rush, pirate ships and treasure maps. No wonder we're growing up believing gold is the most valuable thing we could have. But is it? Nope. Sorry to burst your 24-karat bubble, but gold isn't worth what you think it is. In fact, U.S. dollar hasn't been able to be converted into gold since President Richard Nixon ended that practice in 1971. But what does that have to... Wait, oh gosh, I'm about to rip this. Okay, hold on. Let's just keep saying... Okay, before this, people would buy gold bars as a way to diversify their investment portfolio and give them safeguard against inflation. And some people still do this, but instead of burying gold bars in their backyard, they're buying stocks or mutual funds that invest in gold. But listen closely. Since the dollar isn't backed by gold anymore, investing in this precious metal won't help you if inflation hits. What? So he's talking about the paper side. No. If inflation hits, that's why you would want to invest into precious metals. It's a hedge against inflation. So he's contradicting himself right off the bat. But that's because, like I said, he's twisting his words. If you're looking at buying stocks or mutual funds that invest into gold. And that's because stocks and mutual funds are pegged to the dollar. And that's like switching seats on the Titanic. Anything pegged to the dollar is going down with it. And that's why you don't invest into stocks or mutual funds. You put your money into physical gold or silver. You could even go the SLV route. Who cares? But regardless, I say if you can't hold it, you don't own it. So this is very misleading because he's not even talking about buying gold or silver. He's basically just talking about stocks, things that are still the dollar. That doesn't make sense. But to see the way he twists it, since the dollar isn't backed by gold anymore, so he's still talking about coming from a dollar-based standpoint. So of course inflation wouldn't matter. And that's because he's not even talking about investing in gold or silver. The actual gold or silver. See, so when you invest in a gold thinking you're going to be one of the smart ones if the dollar tanks, you may actually have just flushed your money down the toilet. See how wrong this person is and see why I need to make videos covering this type of stuff? You're not even investing in the gold. See, his thinking is so backwards. He's so, what's the word? He's so out of the loop that since he's, in his mind, since gold and silver aren't backed by the dollar anymore, that the only way it would work is if it was backed by the dollar, and since it's cut off, that it's just irrelevant. But that's actually what helps it, Because regardless of what the dollar does, gold and silver can do what it does on its own, because gold and silver has its own uses beyond the dollar. That actually benefits it. When you think of silver, you probably think of your grandma's silverware at the time she paid you to polish every spoon she owned, your favorite necklace. You probably don't think about its use in mirrors, dental filling, batteries, or even those touchscreen gloves you got for Christmas. Some people believe silver is often a better investment than gold, hoping its lower price point will get them a better return if the markets ever change for the better. That's not why. But here's the truth. Silver, like gold, is not your answer to a financially stable life. The prices of gold and silver are unstable and have been over time, but the only use for them in an economic crisis would be to hope someone would take your silver coins or watch in exchange for a pack of toilet paper or gas. That's wrong on so many levels. See, the reason my name is Silver Slayer and not Gold Slayer is not just because silver's cheaper. It's because silver has tenfold the amount of uses that gold does in this new digital age. Like he just mentioned, dental fillings, batteries, there's not much silver. And as we need more solar panels and 5G towers and EVs, silver has a much bigger use case than gold that kind of just sits around in bars and necklaces. That is why. I mean, it's much deeper, but silver is the most highly conductive metal. So for him to just sit here and just say silver is cheaper so people think they'll get a better return, there's reasons why, not just because it's cheaper. And beyond that, the price of gold and silver are so unstable that the only use for them in an economic crisis would be to hope someone would take your coins or watch in exchange for a pack of toilet paper or can of gas. It's funny he says can of gas, because remember the metaphor I said about how a walking Liberty back in the day could get you a gallon of gas for 50 cents, and that same coin can get you a gallon of gas today. Even though gas isn't 50 cents, you could go take that coin and sell it. I bet that guy's never even thought about, not even just thought about that, but even would be able to understand the depth of what that metaphor or that example is. That's why I always say, make sure you do your homework. And if you do your homework, at least make sure you answer the questions correctly. Because finding an article like this is only going to set you up for failure. Not just failure as in missing out on precious metals, but failure as in keeping your money in a collapsing dollar that's already lost 98% of its purchasing power. That's $31 trillion in debt. So here are some examples. Two main ways: buy gold and silver platinum outright or buy an ETF. See, he even knows about ETFs, but up here when he talks about, and he knows about buying it outright, the physical. But up here, he said when people buy gold or silver, they're going at it from the stock side. So he's purposely using misleading context to make his point. Because if he used these points down here, then his points up here wouldn't work. Because regardless, actually, that buying outright gold would be a hedge against inflation. But he's talking about the stocks that buy gold. See, that's why I don't like articles like this. Because this guy, I think, does understand. But I bet you he's saying this because he's probably trying to push something that doesn't go with the grain of physical gold or silver. And there you go. Exactly. Stuff that's pegged to the dollar. Mortgage, real estate, tax advisor. So of course, he understands that this question, of course, isn't he knows precious metals aren't a bad idea, but that wouldn't help his business. So he has to portray it. He has to put misleading context, because if people did understand that buying gold and silver is actually a hedge against inflation, if he didn't have to word it so silly to make it seem like we just don't understand, as he does understand, trying to allow anyone that reads this to make sure they don't understand. I mean, And then here goes, obviously, alternatives in the precious metals. And guess what? There he goes. Rental property, which up there, remember what he says he does, is real estate mortgage. And I bet you he shows the other one in here, 401k. I mean, it's crazy. And then, of course, connect with a Smart Vestor Pro in your area today. And guess where that Smart Vestor comes from? Retirement investing, Smart Vestor Pro. That's one of his things. That's why I hate stuff like this, because he understands gold and silver. You could see down here when he talks about mentioning buying it outright and stuff. But, and wait, hold on. When you buy precious metal outright, you feel like you just struck gold literally. Just like when you had a dollar bill in your hand, have the security of being able to actually have your investment in the form of gold bars stuffed in your safe deposit box. With ETFs, you buy stock, your choice, tied to the current value of gold platinum. I don't buy precious metals at all because I like my money. I don't want to lose it. That's simple. Precious metals is money. Oh, man, this guy is, wow. This guy is bad. There aren't many times you could take a bag of gold chains to the gas station and exchange it for a tank of gas. No, but you could go to the local coin shop, sell it, and as the dollar is deflating, you could actually get more money's worth. Just like that example I used. See, this guy, man, I hope this guy finds my video. Poor rate of return, and it's a poor rate of return comparing it to the dollar. How can you compare gold's value or silver's value to an ever depreciating dollar? That makes no sense. This guy, oh man. Oh man, this is a bad article. I'm glad I found it and I'm glad I shed light. But this is a bad article, folks. That's why I try to cover stuff like this. The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's bad. His perspective on this is so wrong, man. And it's so dangerous. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Like I said, I'm doing a massive silver giveaway. If you want some of the shiny stuff, then I highly recommend you go subscribe and go enter in that giveaway. You're definitely gonna want to enter if you haven't already once you hear the prize and the next upcoming prizes, which right now the prize is a sealed tube of eagles, but we also got an ounce of gold I'll be giving away soon, and other bigger prizes as we approach 100,000 subscribers. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.